and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't. Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't hide. The sky is falling, but that for the one that don't know what you call it, but what you call it, but I'ma call it for what it is. No matter what you call it, who you try to call it, what pull it right there like tears. Remember the dreams are like nightmares. Your folks hit the bed, trying to featherweight like getting a fight with them.
And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is small, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Made in the image of God. What you want to resemble the grave image of wood and stone. Say all to you all to your children on, nigga, wish you would. You'll be stoned like a statue. Should've kept the law, such as 10 commandments, now we act you. Revelation 14:20, so true. Judgment day, I told you. Pay back on the ones that sold you. We gon' get it back in blood. It's like more person than blood diamonds, and we covered in the blood. Must destroy in order to appear. New order when Hamashiach appear. The wealth of the wicked laid up for the righteous. Now Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't. Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't hide.
Signs of the times you can. Fire judgment coming in this prime. Get cut if you ain't in line. Babylon falling. Them plays here and they ain't stalling. Get ounces in protection if it's your hood you're calling. It's dark and lethal. We testify the evil. Y'all destroying the evil. So come out of my people. This for the nation. They gon' fall for their pride. That lion coming with his army. They can run, but they not.
If Babylon could have been here, it'd have been here. Kwame Yasharala, forsake the nation, get up out of there. Fight out, run them down to the ground. Mother of harlots, it's your turn now. And woe to the nation that drunk from the wine of a fornication. Now the merchant kings was paper chasing while the chosen seed blood was getting raised. It's the patience of the saints. When the Savior come, watch the heathens run. We gon' slap the ass chain.
Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't. Babylon gon' burn, it's burning down, and riding high. When it's your turn now, nation, to the nation. You run, but can't hide.
You wicked whore, you still haven't learned. You destined to burn. Revelation 18, I smell that great city burning. For centuries, our enemies hold bloody murdered our prophets. Now y'all gon' stop them and drop them. He said, vengeance is mine. These heathens can run, but they can't hide. Babylon, die.
The Most High is the owner of the chosen's name. Check our hierarchy like your cards in a poker game. But you will whether you like it or not, because it's our time to shine like a light in the dark. Stopping and binding all the hatred heathens hide in their heart. In our season of defeating demons too, we finally depart and exit his home, ruling while standing next to his throne. Our Lord of Lords and King of Kings, who has corrected our wrongs. Watch Babylon burn at theirs, but our matters our turn. Our Father dropped the gavel on them, and his wrath will confirm.
Babylon gon' burn. In 60 minutes, it's gon' get it in your dome, and it ain't no game. Hang with the lawless, boy, you lame. Like Mikael, I done found my lane, and it ain't gon' change. Sick and tired of looking at the wicked. Got y'all hypnotized with they riches. Keep the money and keep your fame. Tryna make sure that my name ain't stained when it all goes down and they burn this thing. My fire marshal gon' help you, cause he going under that belt too. Not about to be sugarcoating our key, I'm trying to help you come out of that hole, cause if you don't do, you gon' burn slow.
Babylon
Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. Howl for her. Take bomb for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the sky. The Most High hath brought forth our righteousness. Come, and let us declare in Zion the work of the Most High, our Elohim. Hallelujah. Okay, Sister Shonda. Hallelujah.
Even though I'm doesn't mean you're true.
I like that beat already.
How was you supposed to change?
Don't be tossed to and fro. Know which way to go. I'm trying to see if you believe he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and that's a fact. Don't be tossed to and fro. Know which way to go. I'm trying to see if you believe he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and that's a fact. No wasting time, the clock ticking. Get your act together now before the plot thicken. Hit the gym, perfect your jumper till you're not missing. Daily blessing is just a delivery spot missing. I know that rock like I live in a mountain. Only thirst for living water, so I sip from his fountain. And I'm counting the costs, I don't need an accountant. In the end, I pray on will me crowning. Lead the enemy drowning, hope to escape the fire. The most I hate a liar. Pray for the rule, I get connected with no cable wire. Stand firm on this foundation. Do the work, don't stand around waiting. Be ye steadfast. Don't be tossed to and fro. Know which way to go and which side to see. If you believe, he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and that's a fact. Don't be tossed to and fro. Know which way to go. I'm silent to see if you believe, he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and that's a fact.
Like an brain, religion fully making an answer part of me. The ability affecting me. Inside of 4 days, it's scaring me. I gotta remember, look at myself in the mirror, change when it ain't. What's telling me do? Spiritually don't. Can't wait, please hear me. I'm feeling like, what if he don't? Should I do guns or should I do coke? What if he love me? What if he don't? Should I do guns or should I do coke? What if he love me? What if he don't? Should I do guns or should I do coke? Am I in a dream or this is reality? This is a battle. Yeshua never go coward. Part of his army, you never sorry. They never killed it. Shooting his players, he enemy you. You choose to rebel, not missing you. You're either as furrowed or ground or thorns and thistles cast to the wayside. Or Gal Halal, Yahweh by Hashem, Yeshua, Hamashiach.
Don't be told, boy, bro. Know which way to go. I'm trying to see if you believe he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and it's a fact. Don't be told, boy, bro. Know which way to go. I'm trying to see if you believe he can say it so. The clock ticking, ain't no turning it back. All for righteousness, he burning the fat, and it's a fact.
Y'all put it in the group chat. I ain't listening to everything on it. I saved it. Go back. I was skimming through. I listened to like the first 30 seconds. I was like, I'm gonna come back to it. That was my first time hearing it in its entirety. It's just hard.
Yeah, this a gas tape.
Ain't no going back, it ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil, now you decide. It's all or nothing, ain't no bluffing, yeah, do or die. To go to war with us, now you know that's suicide. It ain't no drawing back, it ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil, now you decide. It's all or nothing, ain't no bluffing, yeah, do or die. To go to war with us, now you know that's suicide. You a servant or an agent. I'm running out of patience. These doctrines getting flagrant. I'm looking for a saving while others seeking payments. Straight and narrow pace in the kingdom, what I'm chasing. Do you know what we facing if we don't get it right? Repent and stay prepared. He come like a thief in the night. True soldiers, stay ready. You can't pretend in a fight. Use the weapons that he left us on his ascent to the for the test and you won't get the seal. Salvation only meant for those who has been revealed. Little children, it's the last time. You wanna live or die, it's time to pick a side. Ain't no drawing back, it ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil, now you decide. It's all or nothing, ain't no bluffing, yeah, do or die. To go to war with us, now you know that's suicide. It ain't no drawing back, it ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil, now you decide. It's all or nothing, ain't no bluffing, yeah, do or die. To go to war with us, now you know that's suicide. Follow the shepherd, he'll never leave the sheep behind. Can't avoid that ditch when the blind lead the blind. Hey, walk in your purpose, we was called to be divine. The end is here, but they can't see the signs. I wonder why. Can't reach the goal if you don't do the work. I hate to try. Without the law, it ain't no way you can escape the fire. Judgment is coming, ain't no running, and you can't hide from it. I'm just keeping it 100. You might laugh now, but later it won't be funny when you get rewarded for bowing down to a bunny. Hey, eternal life or death is yours to choose. The Bible holds the clues. Salvation of the Jews. Ain't no drawing back. It ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil. Now you decide. It's all or nothing. Ain't no bluffing. Yeah, do or die. To go to war with us, now you know that's suicide. It ain't no drawing back. It ain't no switching sides. It's life or death, good or evil. Now you decide. It's all or nothing, ain't no bluffing, yeah, do or die. To go to war with Elka, now you know that's suicide.
All praise, honor, magnificent glory is unto our power. The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob, to our uncrowned King Yeshua Mashiach. He gonna get it straight, right? Cause messing with him is like suicide. For Israel, because of Israel, and even between Israel. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. I got the young brothers tonight. They 10 toes down, feet in the sand. I got the young lion. My Bane is in the building.
Shalom, family.
I got nephew Tuvi ready to lay it down.
Shalom.
And I turn it over to the brethren.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see y'all again. I'm Akti, aka the Young Lion. I'm gonna let my brother introduce himself.
It's two.
All right, and we back. We got something light this week, you know what I'm saying? As people preparing for the feast and all that. It was some certain things that happened this week. I had caught the little stomach bug, which prevented me from doing what I wanted to do tonight. But you know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. We're gonna get to it anyway. As y'all see the title, The Shining Example of Judith. I guarantee you, this will be the only book y'all need tonight. This red book right here. We gonna be in the book of Judith tonight. And man, it ain't much, bruh, to really break down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna look at her, look at our foremother, look at her example. You know what I'm saying? See what some of the things we can pick up. It's specifically more so for the Hebrews tonight. You know what I'm saying? This class for the Hebrews tonight. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. But Octavia, before we get into it, bro, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, first and foremost, Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High. Y'all know, as the sun went down, we are in the Feast of Tabernacle.
That's right. That's right.
So happy Feast of Tabernacle, Kag Hag Sukkot. And one thing I want to say specifically on that, we're going to read it tomorrow, that this is not a day to be sad, or not a time to be sad, depressed, mad, angry, holding on to anything, because that is against the law.
Ooh.
It's against the law. We're going to read it tomorrow, so we're supposed to be rejoicing, feasting in his word, assembling, congregating, and having a good time, man. And you know, that's about it.
Hey, I just want to say, everybody also know this is a double Sabbath, simultaneous Sabbath.
Yes, sir.
Don't feel bad if you preparing food tonight.
Right.
It's a simultaneous Sabbath.
Right.
It is a high feast day along with the Shabbat day.
Facts.
So you can prepare food tonight
Facts.
for the feast.
Facts.
All right. This is a priestly work. The priest did work on the Shabbats and the high Sabbath. This is a priestly work. We're preparing food to celebrate before our Most High. So this is a simultaneous Sabbath. I'm going to throw it in and thank you.
Yes,
so I'm glad you said that. So now that you said that, let me throw this in here. If you know that pot roast needs some onions, if you know it needs some onions, don't you say, well, dog, the sun down. No, you allowed. Go get that onion. If you know it needed that spaghetti need a little bit more sauce. If that spaghetti looking a little albino-ish about a pasta, go get you another jar of sauce, all right?
Hey.
All right, it's one of those,
Yes,
all right?
sir. Yes, sir.
So let's dig on into this, Hebrew. We gonna, matter of fact, let's start it in Titus 2. Hit Titus 2 like 1 through 6.
Right.
Let's do Titus 2, 1 through 6 or something like that. Yeah, it's one of them. So, hey, I don't want to hear no, well, the sun caught me. I couldn't put that onion, add that extra flavor up in there. You ain't run out of peaches now, did you? You know you could go down there and get you some more if you did.
Yes, sir. I sure can't wait to taste it.
Man, what?
Good peach cobbler.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and dig into this. Get into our, shine some light on our foremother, man.
Yeah, this is a great example for our sheep.
All praises, man. All praises. Let's start this out in Titus 2, Hebrew, and then we're gonna jump into the story. Let's do Titus 2. What they run through, like 5? About 5. Yeah. Titus 2, verse 1 through 5. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
All right, this is the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 1.
Let me shut the screen. Hold on. All right. You can go ahead and start.
But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
That's right.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. The aged women likewise,
right,
that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Right. That's the first thing, right? That the aged women, he said that they be in behavior as becoming holiness. Like it's so cringeworthy to see a aged woman acting like a city girl, bro.
Man, look.
It's so it make mine.
Yeah,
it's a it. Yeah, it's a it to see that, right? When you see a aged woman that still got her feminine grace, that's still ladylike, you know what I'm saying? That's refreshing. That's refreshing. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
All right, not false accusing.
Right.
Not given to much wine. Not a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of good things. That's important, right? Because a lot of women, you know, we can't teach what we supposed to do. Look, it's telling you, if you an aged woman, you're supposed to be an example for who? The younger women. Right. Teachers of good things, not only through word but through action. Right? You can't be screaming Proverbs 31 and you come to Sabbath class wearing provocative clothing. You know what I'm saying? Or revealing or tight clothing. Like you can't be preaching this Proverbs 31 woman, this Titus 2 woman, and be acting like Glorilla. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that, all right? Go ahead, bro.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, or chaste, keepers at home. Put emphasis on that. Yeah. Keepers at home.
Right.
Not always in the club.
That's right.
Soul Sundays.
Yeah.
Turn up Thursday.
Yeah. Or keepers at another woman's husband's house. Keeper of your own home.
Your own home.
Right.
That's very important there, sir.
Yeah.
Where we at? Obedient
to
their own husbands.
That's right.
That the word of Yah be not blasphemed.
All right. So if you're not discreet, if you're not chaste, if you're not a keeper at home, obedient to your husband, then through the woman, the word of Yah could be blasphemed, right? And we don't want that. We don't want that, all right? So as we look at Judith, you know what I'm saying, just ask yourselves this, she-brews, like, God forbid, what if something was to happen to your head? You know what I'm saying? How would you carry on? Would you carry on righteously? Keep your piety, keep your integrity like Judith did? You know what I'm saying? So that you could be an available vessel for the Most High to use. Or are you just, you know, if something was to happen to your head, will you just let it go out of shambles and say, forget it? And be a vessel for dishonor. Let's get into the story though. Let's start this out in chapter 1. Start this out in chapter 1. All right. The book of Judith, chapter 1. We're going to try to get through all this. I believe it's like 16 chapters, but we're going to get through it.
Most I will.
Yes, sir. They don't look that long. No, don't look that long. But yeah, come on, bro. We ready.
All right. Judith chapter 1.
Yep.
In the 12th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, who reigned in Nineveh, the great city, in the days of Arphaxad, which reigned over the Medes in Ecbatane.
All right, so this first verse, this is one of the verses where people will go to try to disprove the Apocrypha. Because right here it says Nebuchadnezzar, who reigned in Nineveh, right? So he will be the king of Nineveh or the king of the Assyrians, right? But when we got history, that we didn't actually bought this out before a long time ago, back when we was going that IOG. That's how long ago it was. We show in the history book, in that Old Testament history book, where it actually referred to Nebuchadnezzar as the king of Assyria. When you go in, I believe like Ezra chapter 5, it referred to the king of Cyrus as the king of, it wasn't Persia, it was something else, right? But
Syria.
Yeah. So it is letting you know where they were the king at the time they was completing their reign, pretty much.
Well, you know, you read the book of Daniel. Nebuchadnezzar was king over the whole earth.
Whole earth, right?
He reigned over the whole earth. So.
Right. So at this time, he conquering this part.
Right.
So they gonna call him the king of wherever he's conquering.
Right.
Simple fix. All right. Verse 2. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Yes, sir.
And built in Ecbatane walls round about of stones hewn, 3 cubits broad and 6 cubits long, and made the height of the wall 70 cubits, and the breadth thereof 50 cubits, and set the tower thereof upon the gates of it, and 100 cubits high, and the breadth thereof in the foundation 80 cubits. And he made the gates thereof, even gates that were raised to the height of 70 cubits, and the breadth of them was 40 cubits, for the going forth of his mighty armies, and for the setting in array of his footmen. Even in those days, King Nebuchadnezzar made war with King Arphaxad in the great plain, which is the plain in the borders of Ragu. And there came unto him all they that dwelt in the hill country, and all that dwelt by Euphrates and Tigris and Hydaspes. That's what we gonna say. Hydaspes and the plain of Arioch, the king of the Elamim, and very many nations of the sons of Kilab assembled themselves to the battle. Then Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, sent unto all that dwelt in Persia, and to all that dwelt westward, and to those that dwelt in Cilicia and Damascus and Libanus and to Libanus.
Yeah.
And to all that dwelt upon the sea coast, and to those amongst the nations that were of Carmel and Galaad and the higher Galilee, and the great plain of Esdraelon, and to all that were in Samaria and the cities thereof, and beyond Jordan unto Jerusalem, and Betane, and Kelis, and Cades, and the river Egypt, and Tophnis, and Rames, and all the land of Gesem, until you come beyond Tanis and Memphis,
and to all the inhabitants of Egypt until you come to the borders of Ethiopia. But all the inhabitants of the land made light of the commandment of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. Neither went they with him to the battle, for they were not afraid of him. Yea, he was before them as one man, and they sent away his ambassadors from them without effect and with disgrace.
Right. So they looked at Nebuchadnezzar like he was some chump. Like he came to them like this. Come on, guys. Come on, do as I say. And they looked at Nebuchadnezzar like, man, please. All right. So let's keep going.
Who is you?
Right.
Verse 12. Therefore Nebuchadnezzar was very angry with all this country, and swore by his throne and kingdom that he would surely be avenged upon all those coasts of Cilicia and Damascus and Syria, and that he would slay with the sword all the inhabitants of the land of Moab, and the children of Ammon, and all Judea, and all that were in Egypt, till you come to the borders of the two seas. Then he marched in battle array with his power against King Arphaxad in the 17th year, and he prevailed in his battle, for he overthrew all the power of Arphaxad and all his horsemen and all his chariots, and the master of his cities, and became master of his cities, and came unto Ecbatane, and took the towers, and spoiled the streets thereof, and turned the beauty thereof into shame. He took also Arphaxad in the mountains of Ragu, and smote him through with his dart, and destroyed him utterly that day. So he returned afterward to Nineveh, both he and all his company of sundry nations, being a very great multitude of men of war, and there he took his ease and banqueted, both he and his army, in 120 days.
All right, let's go to the next chapter. So King Nebuchadnezzar, you know, he's showing his muscles so far. See, you know what I'm saying? So let's keep going. Let's see what happens. Let's go to chapter 2.
Yes, sir. And in the 18th year, the 22nd day of the first month, there was talk in the house of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, that he should, as he said, avenge himself on all the earth. So he called unto him all his officers and all his nobles, and communicated with them his secret counsel, and concluded the afflicting of the whole earth out of his own mouth. Then they decreed to destroy all flesh that did not obey the commandment of his mouth.
Man, you know what's crazy is I read through the script and I look at all the kings of these Gentile, where most of them that we read about in the script of these Gentile nations, they all got like a streak of Antichrist in them. You know what I'm saying? Like they all got a small streak of, like they either say something or do something during their reign that's anti-crisis.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like this right here, he decreed to destroy all flesh that did not obey the commandment of his mouth.
You know, the script says, things are, there's a foreshadowing in the scripture. So just like there is a shadowing of men in the scripture of the Messiah,
right?
A foreshadowing through certain men in the scripture of the Messiah, there's a foreshadowing of the Antichrist.
That's true. That's facts. That's facts. And we know something else Nebuchadnezzar did that was Antichrist is in the book of Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Bow down to this statue that was 6 cubits this, 6 cubits that, and 6 cubits that. Come all on now. Gold. All gold.
Yeah, and killed you if you didn't need to.
Yeah. Very Antichrist. Very son of perdition-ish. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
All right, verse 4. And when he had ended his counsel, Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, called Olophanes, the chief captain of his army, which was next unto him, and said unto him, Thus saith the great king, the master of the whole earth, Behold, thou shalt go forth from my presence, and take with thee men that trust in their own strength, of footmen 120,000, and the number of horses with their riders 12,000. And thou shalt go against all the west country, because they disobeyed my commandment. And thou shalt decree unto them that they prepare for me earth and water. For I will go forth in my wrath against them, and will cover the whole face of the earth with the feet of mine army, and I will give them for a spoil unto them, so that their slain shall fill the valleys and brooks, and the river shall be filled with their dead till it overflow. Boy, ain't that a shadowing? Ain't that the opposite of blood flowing up to the horse's body?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I will lead them captives to the utmost parts of all the earth. Thou therefore shalt go forth and take beforehand for me all their coast, and if they yield themselves unto thee, thou shalt reserve them for me till the day of their punishment. Mm. But concerning them that rebel, let not thine eyes spare them, but put them to the slaughter and spoil them wheresoever thou goest.
And see, I want Israelites to recognize this. Like, don't think you gonna get by, because don't nothing that this heathen decree get us off the hook. It's actually gonna put the spotlight on us.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know when you hear stuff like, if you don't bow to this, then you die. You know that ain't gonna affect nobody more than the Israelites, bro.
Right.
You know that, all right? So don't think that you gonna get passed by, or you gonna get presented with something that ain't gonna shine the light on who you are, and you ain't gonna have to be who you are at the end of the day, because it's gonna come a situation where, hey, you just gonna have to say what it is straight up, and whatever the consequences is, that's just what the consequences is.
Yeah, it's gonna be unlawful to worship the God of this Bible.
Facts. Go ahead, bro.
All right, verse 12.
Hold on, we got a question. Is Nebuchadnezzar white? We can't say that specifically, but we know he was a Gentile. We know he wasn't an Israelite.
Right.
We know that much. I don't know his skin color. My sister Laura did.
But he definitely was a heathen.
Yeah, he definitely was a heathen. I could guess, based on what we read. Huh?
He was a son of Japheth.
A son of Japheth. Well, he was a son of Japheth. I mean, that's the best we can,
Yeah.
It don't denote any type of skin color or nothing, but it just tell at least what nationality he was, right? All right, go ahead, bro.
All right, verse 12.
Yeah.
For as I live, and by the power of my kingdom, whatsoever I have spoken, that will I do by my hand. And take thou heed that thou transgress none of the commandments of thy master, but accomplish them fully as I have commanded thee, and defer not to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Then Elophanes went forth from the presence of his master, and called all the governors and captains and the officers of the army of Assur. And he mustered the chosen men for the battle, as his master had commanded him, unto 120,000 and 12,000 archers on horseback. And he raised them as a great army is ordered for the war. And he took camels and asses for their carriages, a very great number, and sheep and oxen and goats without number for their provision. And plenty victual or vital for every man of the army, and very much gold and silver out of the king's house. Then he went forth in all his power to go before King Nebuchadnezzar in the voyage, and to cover all the face of the earth westward with their chariots and horsemen and their chosen footmen. A great multitude also of sundry countries came with them, like locusts, and like the sand of the earth, for the multitude was without number. They deep.
Mm-hmm.
And they went forth of Nineveh 3 days' journey toward the plain of Bechteleth, and pitched from Bechteleth near the mountain which was at the left hand of the upper Cilicia. Then he took all his army, his footmen, and his horsemen and chariots, and went from thence into the hill country, and destroyed food and loot.
Boy, you sound like an Asian.
Food, loot. And spoiled all the children of Rasis and the children of Ishmael, which were toward the wilderness at the south of the land of the Chaldeans.
And you knew it wasn't going to be long before they mentioned us.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Then Then he went over Euphrates and went through Mesopotamia and destroyed all of the high cities that were upon the river Arbanah till you come to the sea. And he took the borders of Cilicia and killed all that resisted him, and came to the borders of Japhet, and which were toward the south over against Arabia. He compassed also all the children of Madian. I think that's Midian, but Midian, whatever.
You know how I do in the Apocrypha, and
burnt up their tabernacles.
Right.
And spoiled their sheepcote.
Well, this is what happened when heathens get upset. They just start killing and destroying stuff.
Yeah, they got this spirit of destruction in them. Satan coming only
to destroy,
steal, and destroy.
You show right, bro.
Verse 27. Then he went down into the plain of Damascus in the time of wheat harvest and burnt up all their fields and destroyed their flocks and herds. Also, he spoiled their cities and utterly wasted their country.
Man, you know how detrimental that is doing to have it done to you during a harvest? Man.
And look, he said he took their sheepcoat, so imagine their winter.
Yeah. Boy, that's how these heathens do for real, man.
All right.
Heartless.
Bottom of 27. Also, he spoiled their cities and utterly wasted their countries and smote all their young men with the edge of the sword. Therefore, the fear and dread of him fell upon all the inhabitants of the sea coast, which were in city Sidon and Tyrus, and them that dwelt in Sur and Osina, and all that dwell in Gimnon, and they that dwell in Azotus and Ashkelon feared him greatly.
All right. He continuing on his rampage, man. Look here.
Tongue twister.
Yeah. Here's some names, huh? Hey, let's go into chapter 3. Let's keep on reading. We're gonna get into the thick of this thing here real soon. Yep. Go ahead, bro. Chapter 3.
So they sent ambassadors unto him to treat of peace, saying, Behold, we, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, the great king, lie before thee. Use us as shall be good in thy sight. Behold, our houses and all our places and all our fields of wheat and flocks and herds and all the lodges of our tents lie before thy face. Use them as it pleases thee. Behold, even our cities and the inhabitants thereof are thy servants. Come and deal with them as seemeth good unto thee. So the men came to Holofernes and declared unto him after this manner. Then came he down toward the sea coast, both he and his army, and set garrisons in the high cities, and took out of them chosen men for aid. So they in all the country round about received them with garlands, and with dances, and with timbrels. Yet he did cast down their frontiers and cut down their groves. For he had decreed to destroy all the gods of the land, that all nations should worship Nebuchadnezzar only, and that all tongues and tribes should call upon him as God.
See, it ain't no use to trying to kiss up to this heathen and greet him and, hey, come on in. Nah, just stand on what you gonna stand on and die on that hill. You know what I'm saying?
And look, he said he came in. What did he say? He came with peace. But what did Psalm say? His words were smoother than butter. Was in his heart.
It was in his heart, his mind. Yes, sir. Man, ain't no look. Stop being friends with heathen.
Ain't no trust in these heathen.
Let these heathens show themselves friendly first.
Yeah.
Before you get to rolling out the red carpet trying to be every heathen's friend. Come on now, let them show you they real first now. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Also he came over against Ezralon near unto Judea, over against the great strait of Judea. And he pitched between Geba and Scythopolis.
Good job.
And there he tarried a whole month, that he might gather together all the carriages of his army.
Man. All right, let's go to chapter 4. That's a crazy name.
Can't be the same name.
Look, man, Most High willing, boy, if I make it, one of these angels gonna have to airdrop me to every place in this Bible. Cause I need to see it. Y'all had us reading all these names. Now let me see where these places is at.
World tour.
Yeah, I need to see them. Y'all, hey, go ahead, Hebrew. Chapter 4, verse 1. Go ahead.
So, now the children of Israel that dwelt in Judea heard all that Holofernes, the chief captain of Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians, had done to the nation, and after what manner he had spoiled all their temples and brought them to naught. Therefore they were exceedingly afraid of him, and were troubled for Jerusalem and for the temple of the Most High their power. For they were newly returned from the captivity, and all the people of Judea were lately gathered together, and the vessels and the altar and the house were sanctified after the profanation.
Man, just imagine if the Most High had gathered us from this four corners. You know what I'm saying? Since we sitting over here in America, just think about if he gathered us from over here, we just get back in the land. Just cleaned the temple. Just got everything set back in order. Our own little economy rolling, all that. Yeah. Then we get word that somebody finna come attack us again and try to come carry us.
That could take years upon years.
Facts.
To get all of that straight.
Facts.
Just like it took Solomon like 40-something years to build the temple.
Yeah. And as soon as y'all get everything set in play, here come word. Y'all about to get sieged, attacked, and destroyed.
It's like you did all that work for nothing.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4. Therefore they sent into all the coasts of Samaria and the villages, and to Betharon, and Belman, and Jericho, and to Koba, and Esarah, in the valley of Salem, and possessed themselves beforehand of all the tops of the high mountains, and fortified the villages that were in them, and laid up victuals for the provision of war, for their fields were of late reaped. Also Joachim, the high priest, which was in those days in Jerusalem, wrote to them that dwelt in Bethulia and Betomestum, which is over against Ezralon, toward the open country near to Dothaim, charging them to keep the passages of the hill country, for by them there was an entrance into Judea, and it was easy to stop them that would come up, because the passage was straight for 2 men at the most. Right. And the children of Israel did as Joachim the high priest had commanded them, with the ancients of all the people of Israel which dwelt at Jerusalem. Then every man of Israel cried to Elohim with great fervency, and with great vehemency did they humble their souls, both they and their wives, and their children, and their cattle, and every stranger and hireling, and their servants bought with money, put sackcloth upon their loins.
All right, so another thing we can see right here. Now, if you want some heathens, these heathens need to be just like you when they come to worship. Hell, when Israelites in trouble, they need to consider themselves in trouble too. Shoot, we in trouble too. You know what I'm saying? If you got whoever, they try to call themselves amongst the commonwealth of Israel, look, you got to do as the Israelites do.
The stranger that is like unto thyself.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, verse 11. Thus every man and woman and the little children and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the temple and cast ashes upon their heads, and spread out their sackcloth before the face of the Most High. Also they put sackcloth about the altar, and cried to the Elohim of Israel, all with one consent earnestly, that he would not give their children for a prey, and their wives for a spoil, and the cities for their inheritance to destruction, and the sanctuary to profanation and reproach, and for the nations to rejoice at. So Elohim heard their prayers and looked upon their afflictions, for the people fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem before the sanctuary of the Most High Yah. And Joachim the high priest
And all the priests that stood before the Most High, and they which ministered unto the Most High, had their loins girt with sackcloth, and offered the daily burnt offerings, and with the vows and free gifts of the people, and had ashes on their mitres, and cried unto the Most High with all their power, that he would look upon all the house of Israel graciously.
Now, who'd have thought? Just put yourself in this time right here. Put yourself in the moment of all these Israelites vehemently crying out to the Most High. Who's thinking at this point in time, a woman gonna deliver us? You probably got in your mind you want to see angels appear with swords. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a similitude of Christ on a horse coming out the sky. Or maybe he raised up some brothers to help this situation. Nobody's thinking.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be an imam, one-eyed imam. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild right there.
Never had it come into thy mind.
Facts. Facts. Go ahead, bro. We in chapter 5, y'all. We in chapter 5, verse 1. Go ahead.
All right. Then it was decreed to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills, and had laid impediments in the champion country. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of their army? He's trying to figure something out.
Yeah, he's scared.
And why have they determined not to come and meet me, more than all the inhabitants of the west? Then said Achior, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, let my master now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill country. And there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant. This people are descended of the Chaldeans, and they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors, and worshipped the Elohim of heaven, the Elohim whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia, and sojourned there many days. Then their Elohim commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt, and sojourned there while they were nourished, and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation. That's just crazy. A heathen knows our history better than we know our history.
Facts.
That's crazy.
Facts. Yeah. Some of your enemies know, some of them don't. Go ahead.
11. Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them, and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring in brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their power, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so that the Egyptians cast them out of their sight.
That's a fact. Hey, you got who was that? That was either Philo or Josephus. They mentioned the Egyptian historian, like Mantheo, I think his name is, or something like that. And he referred to, in his writings, he referred to Israelites as shepherds. Shepherds, captives was one word, and it was another word he used. I believe, bro, it was in against Apion, if I'm not mistaken. Where he talked about that.
I just started reading, and I ain't got to do it yet.
Yeah, it's against Apion. So you got Egyptian historians that wrote about the Israelites, the antiquity of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And then wrote about all the events in Egypt. You can pull up Matthew's writings right now on Google and go look at that. All right, go ahead.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like I say, like my shirt say, the Bible is Black history.
Yeah.
This ain't just a spiritual book of law, statutes, and commandments. It's also a history book.
Mm-hmm.
All right, verse 13. And Elohim dried the Red Sea before them and brought them to Mount Sinai and Kadesh Barnea and cast forth all that dwelt in the wilderness. So they dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all them of Esbon. And passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, and the Perizzite, and the Jebusite, and the Shechemite, and all the Girgashites, and they dwelt in the country many days. And while they sinned not before their power, they prospered because the Elohim that hated iniquity was with them.
Right. It's literally as simple as that. When you don't sin, you prosper. Like speaking from individual experience. So just imagine on a nationwide scale if we got right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally how this works.
Bro. It don't get no plainer than that. If you don't sin against the Most High, you prosper.
Facts. That's literally how it works. It's no. I want to know what he doing special or nothing.
It's keeping the commandments.
Right. That's it.
Honoring the Bible.
That's it.
Honoring, worshiping the God in the Bible.
Yeah.
Following his ways.
Yeah. And if you think you can sin and still prosper, then and you wondering why you ain't prosper, you only deceiving yourself. Right? So you shouldn't even be getting upset and wondering what's going on. Sinning is what's going on. That's why you ain't prospering. Or
if you prospering and you sinning, you gotta question which God is you serving and being blessed by.
Man, look, I feel like me personally at that point, you kind of giving over because I would rather, if I'm falling short somewhere, I would rather me not prosper.
Yeah, come on, man.
I don't want to be constantly falling short and looking like I'm on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Pitfalls and snares.
Knowing what I know, the little that I know about this walk.
Yeah,
I don't want that.
There can't really be prospering then.
Right.
Because you're being set up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
Verse 15.
No, yeah, 15. No? 17.
17. Yeah, I'm going to read this 17 again. And while they sinned not before their power, they prospered because the Elohim that hated iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs, and the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their Elohim, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now, therefore, my master and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my master now pass by, lest their master defend them and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Yeah. Now look, this heathen got this knowledge. Look, this people untouchable if it ain't no iniquity.
That's right.
They untouchable. But if they got iniquity in them, you can touch them all day long. So just think about that heathen that's been persecuting you on your job that don't know this.
Come on, man.
Just think about that. And before you try to make the war with the flesh and try to cold cock that heathen, won't you put the being on the heathen that you can't fight what you can't see? You can't beat what you can't see.
That's right, brother.
What some you can't see just smacking you all upside the head. Got you in a inconvenient predicament in life because you didn't put your mouth or your hands on one of his servants.
That situation be
you know. And sometimes I had to keep myself because I be wanting to get flesh, knock flesh off people. Not, you know what I'm saying? Put my flesh on somebody else's flesh sometimes.
Lay hands on.
But hey, look, they gonna heal from my little punches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And probably forget about that it happened 5 years from now. But hey, when the Most High jack you up, man, look,
now you
ain't gonna forget that. That might be your reality to the day you die. That punishment that he put on you for messing with his servants.
And it say in the book of Hermes, man, a hour of sin torments a man for a whole year.
Woo!
A whole year. So 1 hour of sin. So just imagine somebody sinning against an obedient servant of God.
Yeah. You finished. You finished.
He said, man, touch not his anointing and do his prophet no harm.
And man, don't let that servant, have the awareness and discernment to know how to pray against stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't stand a chance. You don't stand a chance, all right? Go ahead. And then the only thing that can protect you ain't even in your corner. It's in their corner.
Lord, pray that Psalm 69.
You what?
Man, look. I've been trying to keep that. What's that? That Psalms 109. I've been trying to keep that low for who is deserved. For I've been waiting on the heat.
Look, I pull out the hoses as many times as I have to. I'm tired of it.
Man, look.
I
know the last job I was on, I prayed that against a heathen. Do y'all know this heathen tripped over her water hose into her wall and knocked her shoulder out?
I mean, you know what I'm saying, bro? Don't let it be a daughter of Zion, right? Is she a wailing woman? Man, brother, it's going to be fire and brimstone come down on these folks.
Yes,
you never know who you messing with now.
Facts.
Yeah, he got a keen ear for the daughters of Israel.
Yes, sir.
Keen ear.
So do.
Oh, I tell you, you don't need to be messing with nobody. You really don't know who they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You probably need to leave your mouth, keep your mouth off folks, and leave folks alone.
Yeah. And you dealing with, and then on top, just to add another layer to that, right? You dealing with quote unquote blacks, mistreating blacks. Most of us are fathers.
Right.
Fathers and widows.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So look who you persecuting.
See what I'm saying? And you don't know the Most High playing with that person. He might be a drug addict today and a prophet or apostle tomorrow.
Right.
You never know.
And you did that person wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I say leave folks alone, man.
Yeah. Or you could be mistreating an angel. You don't know.
You don't know. It gets deep.
It get deep. Where we at, bro? We finished that chapter.
22.
All right, go ahead. Finish that.
And when Achior had finished these sayings, all the people standing around about the tent murmured, and the chief men of Peloponnese and all that dwelt by the seaside and in Moab spake that he should kill him. Well, say they, we will not be afraid of the face of the children of Israel, for lo, it is a people that have no strength nor power for a strong battle. Now therefore, master Peloponnese, we will go up, and they shall be a prey to be devoured of all thine arms.
Let's get into chapter 6. Go ahead.
And when the tumult of men that were about the council was ceased, Peloponnese, the chief captain of the army of the sword, said unto Achior and all the Moabites before all the company of other nations, and who art thou, Achior?
So look, after everything was over, it was probably about a space of silence. And he turned around and look, Achior, who you think you is? Everybody about to walk off, go back to their respective places. Achior, who do you think you are telling me about who he about to get on his head? Go ahead.
Right.
Exactly.
But look, and don't even realize that he being used by the Most High. Don't even realize.
Yeah.
By kicking his general out, sending him over there to the Israelites, which he about to do. You know, bro, you being used by the Most High.
Yeah, I mean, because for the simple fact, they just got kicked out of the land, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now he said they just came back into the land. That means they repented and they turned to the Most High.
Fact.
So he's for their defense.
Yeah.
In this moment, they being obedient to the Most High.
Yeah.
So when he told them, "Hey, look, if they being obedient to their power, man, you don't want to mess with these folks."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
These people ain't got no strength. Well, bro, they ain't had no strength. The only strength they had was seven chauffeurs, 7 trumpets when they took down the walls of Jericho.
Yeah.
Man, they had no strength.
They have a sword in their hand in Egypt.
They had no. They look. They were asleep when the angel came down and slew 185,000 Assyrians.
Facts. History tells you if this people is obeying, leave them alone.
Leave them alone, bro.
History tell you that, but hey, don't listen to history.
Verse 2 from the top.
Yeah.
And who art thou, Achior, and the hirelings of Ephraim, that thou hast prophesied amongst us as today, and hast said that we should not make war with the people of Israel, because their power will defend them. And who is God but Nebuchadnezzar? He will send his power and will destroy them from the face of the earth, and their power shall not deliver them. But we, his servants, shall destroy them as one man, for they are not able to sustain the power of our horses. For with them we will tread them underfoot, and their mountains shall be drunken with their blood, and their fields shall be filled with their dead bodies, and their footsteps shall not be able to stand before us, for they shall utterly perish, saith King Nebuchadnezzar, master of all the earth. For he said, none of my words shall be in vain. And thou, Achior, and hireling of Ammon, first it was Ephraim, Ammon. Hireling of Ammon, which has spoken these words in the day of thine iniquity, shall see my face no more from this day until I take vengeance of this nation that came out of Egypt. And then shall the sword of mine army and the multitude of them that served me pass through thy sides, and thou shalt fall among their slain when I return.
Boy, that's big talk right there.
Yes, it is.
That's big talk. Go ahead.
Big wolf tickles.
Boy, that show is a lot of talk for somebody who got killed by got their head lopped off by a woman.
Now, therefore, my servant shall bring thee back into the hill country, and shall set thee in one of the cities of the passages, and thou shalt not perish till thou be destroyed with them.
Right.
And if thou persuade thyself in thy mind that they shall not be taken, let not thy countenance fall. I have spoken, and none of my words shall be in vain. Then Holofernes commanded his servants that waited in his tent to take Achior and bring him to Bethulia, and deliver him into the hands of the children of Israel. So his servants took him and brought him out of the camp into the plain, and they went from the midst of the plain into the hill country, and came unto the fountains that were under Bethulia. And when the men of the city saw them, they took up their weapons, used the sling from coming up by casting of stones against them. Nevertheless, having gotten privily under the hill, they bound Achior and cast him down, and left him at the foot of the hill, and returned to their master.
They must have thought the Israelites was going to do something to him when they found him, so they left him, left him for dead, right? All right, go ahead.
But the Israelites descended from their city and came unto him and loosed him, and brought him into Bethulia, and presented him to the governors of the city, which were in those days Osias, the son of Michael, of the tribe of Simeon, and Cabris, the son of Nathaniel, and Carnes, the son of Melchiel. And they called together all the ancients of the city, and all their youth ran together, and their women to the assembly, and they set Achior in the midst of all their people. Then Osias asked him of that which was done, And he answered and declared unto them the words of the council of Holofernes, and all the words that he had spoken in the midst of their princes, and the princes of Assur, and whatsoever Holofernes had spoken proudly against the house of Israel. Then the people fell down and worshipped Elohim, and cried unto Elohim, saying, O Most High Yah of heaven, behold their pride and their pity, behold their pride and pity the low estate of our nation, and look upon the faces of those that are sanctified unto thee this day. Then they comforted Achior and praised him greatly. And Osias said, and took him out of the assembly unto his house, and made a feast to the elders, and they called on the power of Israel all that night. All that night for help.
All right, so Osias, he took out a group of the assembly in his house full of elders and made a feast, and just had the elders calling. You know what I'm saying? Got the elders together and they calling.
Yeah.
All this going on, and the Most High sitting back like, Judith gonna save y'all. You know what I'm saying? You got the elders praying, they don't know what to do. They ain't had the answers. The Most High sitting back, Judith. This sister over here, this widow over here.
Yeah.
Gonna deliver the nation.
I'm tripping off. It said the people prayed all night.
Yeah.
All the elders prayed all night.
All night.
Most of our people can't pray for 2 minutes.
No.
Man, some people was tired a few days ago on the atonement.
On the atonement.
Say
we gotta pray again.
Come on, man.
Say it is for your benefit.
Right. Man.
Man. I wonder why we still in
we sit here and complain on the Day of Atonement like we skated through this whole year sin free.
That's what I'm saying. It's for your benefit.
Like, do you know he will look over on this day for you if you do it right?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. And they complain. It's a drudgery form.
And we'll remove whatever we have a problem with.
Clockwise. Sun down.
I'm calling my order in. Can you set it for 7:30? Now we gotta pick it up at 7:45.
Don't cook it. Don't cook it, Latina.
It don't work like that.
Look, man, hey, this we gonna have to up our prayer game. I'm glad you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Commented on that. We're gonna have to up our prayer game in these last days. Them little 10-minute prayers ain't gonna cut it. At some point, we're gonna get it to a point in this walk where them little 10-minute, 20-minute prayers, like it's gonna have to be a straight bang out session to get something to move. Right? You gonna have to work up a sweat.
Bruh, I was teasing my wife on the Day of Atonement. And we was about to get an hour of prayer here. And I was gonna read some songs. And she was like, what songs you gonna read? I said 119. 119.
From all of the top.
Read Psalm 119. You probably can pass by the whole Day of Atonement with Psalms 119.
Like, why not?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Yeah. All right, let's get it. Chapter 7. Let's get it.
The next day, Holofernes commanded all his army and all his people which would come to take his part, that they should remove their camp against Bethulia, to take aforehand the ascents of the hill country, and to make war against the children of Israel. Then their strong men removed their camps in that day, and the army of the men of war was 170,000 footmen and 12,000 horsemen, beside the baggage and other men that were afoot amongst them, a very great multitude. And they camped in the valley near unto Bethulia by the fountain, and they spread themselves in breadth over Dothaim, even to Belmaim, and in length from Bethulia unto Siamon, which is over against Ezralon. Now the children of Israel, when they saw the multitude of them, were greatly troubled, and said every one to his neighbor, now will these men lick up the face of the earth, for neither the high mountains, nor the valley, nor the hills are able to bear their weight. Mm. Then every man took up his weapons of war, and when they had kindled fires upon their towers, they remained and watched all that night. But in the second day, Holofernes brought forth all his horsemen in the sight of the children of Israel, which were in Bethulia, and viewed the passages up to the city, and came to the fountain of their waters, and took them, and set garrisons of men of war over them, and he himself removed towards his people.
Look who the first ones come up. Go ahead, verse 8. Look who the first ones that come up to help oppress Israel. Go ahead.
You going against them?
Yeah. Oh, y'all finna siege them.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I bet you Then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau.
They the first one.
Always. Yeah, always. Today I have
so look. What make y'all think today in 2023 is any different?
It ain't no different.
Who do you think is got first deals on all our oppression today? Esau. You better believe it.
Ain't no different.
Better believe it. Go ahead, bro.
Then came unto him all the chief of the children of Esau, and all the governors of the people of Moab, and the captains of the sea coast, and said, let our master now hear a word, that there be not an overthrow in thine army.
Mm-hmm.
For this people of the children of Israel do not trust in their spears, but in the height of the mountains wherein they dwell, because it is not easy to come up to the tops of their mountains. Now therefore, my master, fight not against them in battle array, and there shall not so much as one man of thy people perish. Remain in thy camp, and keep all the men of thine army, and let thy servants get into their hands the fountain of water which issueth forth of the foot of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
For all the inhabitants of Bethulia have their water thence. So shall thirst kill them, and they shall give up their city, and we and our people shall go up to the tops of the mountains that are near, and will camp upon them to watch that none go out of the city. That's a good tactic of war. Starve the people so that they don't have no strength to fight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And hey, we know this. Our enemy take that out of our other enemies' playbook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when they besieged us, we ate our children. You know, all that. Go ahead, bro. This ain't nothing new.
14.
Yeah.
So they and their wives and their children shall be consumed with famine. And before the sword can come against them, they shall be overthrown in the streets where they dwell. Thus shalt thou render them an evil reward, because they rebelled and meant not thy person peaceably. And these words pleased Holofernes and all his servants, and he appointed to do as they had spoken. So the camp of the children of Ammon departed, and with them 5,000 of the Assyrians, and they pitched in the valley and took the waters and the fountains of the waters of the children of Israel. Then the children of Esau went up with the children of Ammon and camped in the hill country over against Dothaim. And they sent some of them toward the south and toward the east over against Ekrabel, which is near unto Cusai, that is upon the brook of Machmur. And the rest of the army of the Assyrians camped in the plain and covered the face of the whole land, and their tents and carriages were pitched to a very great multitude. Then the children of Israel cried unto the Most High their power, because their heart failed, for all their enemies had compassed them round about, and there was no way to escape out from among them. Thus all the company of Assur remained about them, both their footmen, chariots, and horsemen, 34 days, so that all their vessels of water failed all the inhabitants of Bethulia. And the cisterns were emptied, and they had not water to drink their field for one day. For they gave them drink by measure.
Therefore their young children were out of heart, and their women and young men fainted for thirst, and fell down in the streets of the city and by the passages of the gates, and there was no longer any strength in them. Then all the people assembled to Osias and to the chief of the city, both young men and women and children, and cried with a loud voice.
What verse you at?
And said, 23.
Okay.
And said before all the elders, Elohim be judge between us and you, for you have done us great injury in that you have not required peace of the children of Assur. For now we have no helper, but Yah hath sold us into their hand, that we should be thrown down before them with thirst and great destruction. Now therefore call them unto you, and deliver the whole city for a spoil to the people of Philopolis, and to all his army. For it is better for us to be made a spoil unto them than to die for thirst. For we will be his servants, that our souls may live, and not see the death of our infants before our eyes, nor our wives, nor our children to die. We take to witness against you the heaven and the earth, and our power and master of our fathers, which punisheth us according to our sins and the sins of our fathers, that he do not according as we have said this day. Then there was great weeping with one consent in the midst of the assembly, and they cried unto the Most High Power with a loud voice. Then said Osias to them, Brethren, be of good courage. Let us yet endure 5 days, in the which space the Most High our power may turn his mercy toward us, for he will not forsake us utterly. And if these days pass, and there come no help unto us, I will do according to your word. And he dispersed the people, everyone to their own charge, and they went unto the walls and towers of their city, and sent the women and children into their houses, and they were very low brought into the city.
All right, let's go to chapter 8. Hey, see the people collectively crying out to the Most High. Hey, that's powerful. That works.
Yeah.
That works, man.
And especially like when Osias told them, be of good courage. You know what I'm saying? Hey, be courageous.
Yep.
Be courageous, especially if you're being obedient and you keep the commandments to the best of your ability. Be courageous.
Facts.
So like he said, the Most High will not utterly forsake his people.
That's a fact. Hey, I ain't seen it happen ever.
Yeah.
Ever, especially when you talking on a grand scale, deliverance of the whole nation, man. He ain't never failed Israel.
Yeah.
Bro.
Trust in the Most High.
He ain't never failed Israel. And hey, look, this that type of thing got to happen again. Our backs got to be so up against the wall to where there's literally no other way out but him.
Yeah.
Our back ain't been up against the wall like that yet. You know what I'm saying? These little day-to-day things we go through in Babylon, that's nothing compared to when we gonna need real deal supernatural intervention.
They great tribulation right there.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. All right. Now we finna get introduced to Judith finally. 8 chapters in. Go ahead, bro.
Now at that time Judith heard thereof, which was the daughter of Merari, the son of Ox, the son of Joseph, the son of Aziel, the son of Elsiah, the son of Rephaim, the son of Akito, the son of South.
Boy, I was just about to say, what? I sure thought that. I said, huh?
Is the son of Eliud, the son of Eliab, the son of Nathaniel, the son of Samael, the son of Salasadai, the son of Israel.
Right.
And Manasseh was her husband, and her tribe and kindred, who died in the barley harvest. For he stood overseeing them that bound sheaves in the field. The heat came upon his head, and he fell on his bed and died in the city of Bethulia. And they buried him with his fathers in the field between Dothaim and Balamoth. So Judith was a widow in her house 3 years and 4 months.
Now look, this that's why I asked the question. Like, God forbid, if something was to happen to your head, how would you carry on? Right? Would you get a false sense of freedom and go be a city girl?
Hot girl song.
You know what I'm saying? Or would you get would you get even more serious about your walk with the Most High? You know what I'm saying? And draw closer to him and let him lead and guide you. You know, go ahead. When you get through taking the sips.
Paul said in that first Corinthians, if you be loose from a husband, see not to be married.
Facts.
Focus on the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
All right, verse 5.
Yeah.
And she made her tent upon the top of her house and put on sackcloth on her loins and wore her widow's apparel. And she fasted all the days of her widowhood, save the eves of the Sabbath. There's an eve to the Sabbath.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
And say the eves of the Sabbath, and the Sabbaths, and the eves of the new moon, and the new moons, and the feast, and the solemn days of the house of Israel.
Yeah, so she ain't turned into no loose sister in Israel after her husband died. She got all the more diligent. That's right. Right? All the more diligent. All right, go ahead.
And look, that's a shot at the having pleasure on the Shabbat, right? She ain't got no time. If she even wanted to remarry, she fasted all the days of her widowhood except for the Sabbath, when you supposed to be sanctified and holy and pure. And the new moons, when you supposed to be sanctified and holy and pure. And the feast days and solemn days, when you supposed to be sanctified and pure.
That's right.
And clean.
She even did it on the eves of those.
On the eve.
So the day of preparation, she was still.
Man, look, Day of Atonement wasn't nothing for her. She doing it 6 days every week.
Every week.
That's some diligence.
6 days.
6 days when you do how many days in a year? 365 times what?
Divided by.
What divided? Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
That's how many days out of a year that woman fasted. That's
you got a book of remembrance written about it. We call her woman.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And if anything, when we read these stories about, certain individuals, use it as a measuring stick for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, boom, this a good measuring stick for the Hebrews out there. And this ain't nothing to get discouraged on. If you see somewhere where you fall short, just ask the Most High, hey, I want to work on this, Most High. Send me the help. Send me the brothers and the sisters that need it. Send me the wisdom, the revelation needed for me to get to this point. Like my foremother or like my forefather. Yeah. Right?
This is a tool. This should be a tool of exhortation to us all. We should all be fasting more. We should all be working on our prayer life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And trying to draw closer and closer to the Most High as possible.
That's a fact. Especially when it comes to this aspect, fasting. We don't like to fast. We like to, what we got to eat?
Man, look, I feel short plenty of time.
Yeah. Man, look here. Fast as much as you can. Fast as much as you can. All right. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
She was also of a goodly countenance and very beautiful to behold. And her husband Manasseh had left her gold and silver and men servants and maid servants and cattle and land, and she remained upon them.
What? She wasn't trying to sleep with none of the men servants? Now that her husband gone?
Come here, boy.
No, she was mine. She kept her integrity. All right, go ahead.
And there was none that gave her an ill word, blameless. For she feared Elohim greatly. Now, when she heard the evil words of the people against the governor, that they fainted for lack of water, for Judith had heard all the words that Osiris had spoken unto them, and that he had sworn to deliver the city unto the Assyrians after 5 days. Then she sent her waiting woman that had the government of all things, that she had to call Osiris and Cabris and Carmes the ancients of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And they came unto her, and she said unto them, Hear me now, O ye governors of the inhabitants of Bethulia, for your words that you have spoken before the people this day are not right.
Mm-hmm.
Touching this oath which he made and pronounced between Elohim and you, and have promised to deliver the city to our enemy, unless within these days the Most High turn to help you. And now, who are you that have tempted Elohim this day and stand instead of Elohim amongst the children of men?
Mm-hmm.
And now try El Shaddai, the Most High, the Almighty Yah, but you shall never know anything. For you cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can you search out Yah, that hath made all these things, and know his mind, or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Most High our power to anger. For if he will not help us within these few days, he has power to defend us when he will.
Man, look here. Now, you know what a brother look at this sister today and say, you usurping authority.
Mm-hmm.
Let the women be quiet in the church. Well, you Negroes wasn't doing nothing.
Sitting around crying.
That's what a Negro would tell her. She too masculine. You need to sit down.
Yeah. Soft shoe.
Well, what do we call what you was doing before she stepped up and said something? What do we call that?
Wearing hush puppy.
Go ahead. Look how you talking to the men in this assembly, sister.
Did you speak the oracle of God?
Where your head at? You know, you get a lot of you would get a lot of that if this was today. When a sister debunk a Negro, where your head at?
You can't talk to me like that.
And he wrong.
Wrong to be long.
And he wrong. Or you supposed to have handled the situation like a man, and you taking the easy soft shoe way out.
You got the ball spirit.
Right. And she the one stepping up here with the kahunas. Now, in this case, brother, you might need to go back there with the women in the church.
Yeah.
Go see if they need
They getting the river together.
Yeah. They shouldn't have had to come to that.
Right.
But since the Most High seen they weren't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, he seen how they was even timid in their requests.
Right.
She putting that on Front Street. Look, your request to him was even timid.
Well,
if he don't come through in these few days, then we gonna just
gonna buy down and surrender. Wait away, flag.
Yeah, you get in the back.
She like, man, look, she like, y'all just to put the Most High in the box. If he don't deliver us in these few days, he'll deliver us whenever he feel like it.
Right.
Man, look, you
see, you ain't gonna throw a dart or nothing.
Nothing. You ain't even. What Bernie Mac say? Did you even pinch the?
I ain't even blood. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 16. Do not bind the counsels of the Most High our power, for Elohim is not as man.
You see that? Don't put him in the box. She said, don't bind the counsels of our Elohim. Go ahead.
For Elohim is not as man that he may be threatened, neither is he as the son of man that he should be wavering.
Right. Like he gonna look at our enemies and say, "Oh, no, the boy got some big gun down there. Is that a switch? Yeah. Oh no, Lord, I can't go there." Nah, he ain't gonna do that. He ain't as man. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about going down there and saving them, but they got space rockets.
Yeah, they got drones and butter knives.
They got all type of nukes.
Go ahead, bro.
17. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him. For there arose none in our age, neither is there any now in these days, neither tribe, nor family, nor people, nor city among us, which worship gods made with hands, as have been aforetime.
And that's usually how it always was when we just got back from captivity. Everybody on the straight and narrow, right? Go ahead.
For the which cause our fathers were given to the sword, and for a spoil, and had a great fall before our enemies. But we know none other God, therefore we trust that he will not despise us, nor any of our nation. For if we be taken, so all Judea shall lie waste, and our sanctuary shall be spoiled, and he will require the profanation thereof at our mouth. And the slaughter of our brethren, and the captivity of the country, and the desolation of our inheritance will he turn upon our heads among the Gentiles, wheresoever we shall be in bondage, and we shall be an offense and a reproach to all them that possess us, as is this day. For our servitude shall not be directed to favor, but the Most High our power shall turn it to dishonor. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their hearts depend upon us, and the sanctuary and the house and the altar rest upon us. Moreover, let us give thanks to the Most High our power, which trieth us, even as he did our fathers. Remember what things he did to Abraham, and how he tried Isaac, and what happened to Jacob in Mesopotamia of Syria, when he kept the sheep of Laban his mother's brother. For he had not tried us in the fire as he did them, for the examination of their hearts, neither hath he taken vengeance on us, but the Most High did scourge them that come near unto him to admonish. The Most High doeth scourge them that come near unto him to admonish them.
Right. To admonish them, not to destroy them. Right? It's a difference. Most High can correct you, you know what I'm saying, within his law, or he can correct you as one that, you know, don't keep it and never will and never have hopes to keep it. Hey, I don't want to be punished like that. Punish me according to your word, Holy Abba, in measure. You know, please, I beg of you, for real.
It's a process of purification.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, go ahead.
28. Then said Osiris to her, all that thou hast spoken with a good heart, and there is none that may gainsay thy words. For this is not the first day wherein thy wisdom is manifest, but from the beginning of thy days all thy people have known thy understanding, because the disposition of thine heart is good. But the people were very thirsty, and compelled us to do unto them as we have spoken, and to bring an oath upon ourselves, which we will not break. Therefore now pray thou for us, because thou art a godly woman, and the Most High will send us rain to fill our cisterns, and we shall not faint, and we shall faint no more. Then said Judith unto them, hear me, and I will do a thing which shall go throughout all generations to the children of our nation.
She ain't lying, but we talking about it right here today in 2023.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, bro.
You shall stand this night in the gate, and I will go forth with my waiting woman. And within the days that you have promised to deliver the city to our enemies, the Most High will visit Israel by mine hand. Make her a prophetess.
Man, look, that's what I'm saying. It's impossible for you to even be tapped in like that if you're not as diligent. You know what I'm saying? As she was. Right? She would know that she got a job to do, because she fasting 6 days a week.
Man, just think about her connection with the spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, go ahead, bro.
Verse 34. But inquire not you of mine act, for I will not declare it unto you till the things be finished that I do. Then said Osiris and the princes unto her, go in peace, and the Most High power be before thee to take vengeance on our enemies. So they returned from the tent and went to their wards.
All right, let's go to the next chapter.
Then Judith fell upon her face and put ashes upon her head and uncovered the sackcloth wherewith she was clothed. And about the time that the incense of that evening was offered in Jerusalem in the house of the Most High, Judith cried with a loud voice and said, O Yah, Elohim of my father Simeon, to whom thou gavest a sword to take vengeance on the strangers who loosened the girdle of a maid to defile her, and discovered the thigh to her shame, and polluted her virginity to her reproach. For thou saidest, it shall not be so, and yet they did so. Talking about Dinah. Wherefore thou gavest their rulers to be slain, so that they died their bed in blood. I thought I was reading it wrong.
No, you read it right.
Boy, they dyed their bed in blood, being deceived, and smote the servants with their masters, and the masters upon their thrones, and has given their wives for a prey, and their daughters to be captives, and all their spoils to be divided amongst thy dear children, which were moved with thy zeal, and abhorred the pollution of their blood, and called upon thee for aid. O Elohim, O my Elohim, hear me also a widow. For thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after. Thou hast thought upon the things which are now and which are to come. Yet what things thou didst determine were ready at hand, and said, Lo, we are here. For all thy ways are prepared, and thy judgments are in thy foreknowledge. For behold, the Assyrians are multiplied in their power, and they are exalted with horse and man. They glory in the strength of their footmen. They trust in shield and spear, and bow and sling, and know not that thou art the Most High that breaketh the battles. The Most High is thy name. Throw down their strength in thy power, and bring down their force in thy wrath, for they have proposed to defile thy sanctuary, and to pollute the tabernacle where thy glorious name resteth, and to cast down with sword the horn of thy altar.
Right, y'all see how our foremother praying. Like, look at the choice of words. She ain't saying conservative stuff like, Lord, just get me out of this situation. Take my enemies out the way. Now she's saying throw down their strength and power. Like, I want you to be forceful in the takedown of these heathens, Most High. You see, she said, bring down their force in your wrath, in your anger, in your hot anger. She said, I want you to act while you good and angry, Most High.
Nor is she wavering in her mind.
That's
like
a fact.
She really believing that what she is praying and asking for is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And she waiting on.
So she being real definitive, real aggressive in her prayer. That's how we gotta be, right? Not like your words matter. Don't be, Lord, just get my enemies out my way. No, destroy my enemies.
Well, if you feel like what, you got time today.
Come on, now.
What are you doing?
Like, if I come to my daddy, some dudes just jump me. But then when you go around there, just beat them up a little bit. Don't. Man, somebody jump me. Hey, they jump me, man. We finna beat the brakes off them. Don't let up either. Lord, just Lord, Lord, don't kill them, but just get them out of our way so we can go on.
No. Yeah.
and you see how she's talking about the force, so she even talk about even the spirit realm.
Yeah.
Because the force that's behind, the evil wickedness behind, she said attack that first.
Good point. All praises for that. Go ahead. Verse 9.
Behold their pride, and send thy wrath upon their heads. Give into mine hand, which am a widow, the power that I have conceived. Smite by Smite by the deceit of my lips.
Hold on, let's go back to that end of that verse 9.
Yeah.
And boy, she was sure because she knows she done put in the work, all the fasting, all the
That's
praying, the
real
devotion.
Mm-hmm.
She
That's
said,
confidence in what the work that she done put in herself.
facts.
And what I'm noticing, right, is like the script say, come bold
To the throne of grace. That's
Yeah.
right.
This is what she's coming bold and like, look, give me this power.
Yeah,
But she knows she ain't out there sitting and grinning.
facts.
So she can come bold.
So
to
you
the
can
throne.
talk like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
When you out there,
Yeah.
conniving and slipping and sliding.
Yeah, the
You
script.
become
Yeah,
like that.
I'm like,
the scriptures say, man, hey, look, when you doing wrong, you know you wrong, and it land back off this scripture you threw out in Hermes.
yeah,
It say it's hard for a man to lift up his head.
yeah, yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? When you know you've been out here sinning,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
man, you don't even think you can pray to the Most High
Yeah.
I see.
because you don't even think He listening.
Sin makes cowards out of me.
Mhm.
Sin makes
Yeah.
cowards out of me.
You don't even want to pray to repent.
No.
Yeah, because look, when you sinning, you fleeing when no man pursue.
That's
Oh,
it.
we.
You know what I'm saying?
Sound of relief.
Yeah.
So how you gonna come bold when you run?
Man, you can't.
And you running from nothing.
You don't even want to pray because you don't think the Most High will listen to you. That's why.
Matter of fact, you know he ain't gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
John 9:31.
Facts. And that's why you can't lift your head up. And that's why what the scripture heard me say, a man who sinned for what?
An hour is tormented for
For a whole year. For a whole year. But look at her confidence and boldness though. She was like, this power that I know how to conceive power, Most High.
Hard, man.
Man, look, when you live like that, you can talk like that. All right, go ahead.
All right, verse 10. Smite by the deceit of my lips the servant with the prince.
Yes, sir.
And the prince with the servant.
You see
break down their stateliness by the hand of a woman.
You see that? She said the prince.
Yeah.
She talking about the one that's over there.
Oh, yeah.
The servant is the people that's routing out the wheel
Right.
of that evil principality.
Right.
She said get all of
Mm-hmm.
hit him first, then get the servant.
Yeah.
The servant.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
For thy power standeth not in multitude, nor thy might in strong men. For thou art a Elohim of the afflicted,
Ooh.
and helper of the oppressed,
Come on now.
and upholder of the weak, a protector of the forlorn, a savior of them that are without hope.
I mean, look here. I really ain't never got to read Deuteronomy 28 to nobody. I can just read Judith chapter 9, verse 11.
Come on, man.
And every adjective in that verse only fits one people perfectly.
Good
Come on,
Negro.
man.
Good Negro.
Afflicted,
Come on, man.
oppressed,
Forlorn.
weak, forlorn, without hope.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. I can take you to South Memphis right now and show you some brothers that ain't got no hope. Come on now.
Man, any neighborhood where we concentrated in the word,
In the word.
Man,
you
I
can
can
see
show
all
you.
the magnitude of
Yep.
the word.
Yep.
We can ride all up through Memphis. Really.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can take you through Memphis. I can take you through corporate America. And show you the same thing.
Yeah.
The curses follow us. All right, verse 12. Verse 12. Go ahead, bro.
12.
Yeah.
I pray thee, O Yah, power of my father, and power of the inheritance of Israel, master of the heavens and earth, creator of the waters, king of every creature. Hear thou my prayer, and make my speech and deceit to be their wound and strife, who have proposed cruel things against thy covenant. She ain't saying who have proposed cruel things against thy people.
Yeah.
Thy covenant.
Yeah. Because the battle ain't with flesh and blood.
Come on, man. And thy hallowed house, and against the top of Zion, and against the house of the possession of thy children, and make every nation
Yes, sir.
and tribe to acknowledge that thou art Elohim of all power
and might, and that there is none other that protected the people of Israel but thou. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Chapter 10, let's get it. We almost done, y'all. About 6 more chapters. They're long, so we're gonna get through it. Let's get it.
Now after that she had ceased to cry unto the power of Israel, and had made an end of all these words. She rose where she had fallen down, and called her maid, and went down into the house, in the which she abode in the Sabbath days and in her feast days, and poured off the sackcloth which she had on, and put off the garments of her widowhood, and washed her body all over with water, and anointed herself with precious ointment, and braided the hair of her head, and put on a tire upon it.
And not a car tire.
It's a mitra.
Right.
A head wrap.
No, somebody like a tire, like Goodyear? No, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that.
That brings understanding to that Isaiah 3 when it says round tires like the moon. It's talking about head wrap.
Yep, go ahead.
And put a tire upon it, and put on her garments of gladness, wherewith she was clad during the life of Manasseh her husband. And she took sandals upon her feet, and put about her bracelets, and her chains, her rings, and her earrings, and all her ornaments, and decked herself bravely to allure the eyes of all men that she see.
Right, so she getting what the women would call today, she getting dolled up. Right? She getting dolled up like she getting ready to go out on a date or something, right?
Beautified.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Then she gave her maid a bottle of wine and a cruse of oil, and filled a bag with parched corn and lumps of figs, with fine bread. So she folded all these things together and laid them upon her. Thus they went forth to the gate of the city of Bethulia, and found standing there outside, and the ancients of the city, Cabris and Carmes. And when they saw her, that her countenance was altered, and her apparel was changed, they wondered at her beauty very greatly, and said unto her, the power of our fathers give thee favor, and accomplish thine enterprises, to the glory of the children of Israel, and to the exaltation of Jerusalem. Then they worshiped Elohim. And she said unto them, command the gates of the city to be opened unto me, that I may go forth to accomplish the things whereof you have spoken with me. So they commanded the young men to open unto her as she had spoken. And when they had done so, Judith went out, and she and her maid with her, and the men of the city looked after, until she was gone down the mountain, until she had passed the valley, and could see her no more. Thus they went straight forth in the valley, and the first watch of the Assyrians met her, and took her, and asked her, of what people art thou, and whence comest thou, and whither goest thou? Who you from? Where you come from? And she said, I am a woman of the Hebrews, and am fled from them. There goes the word of the seats. For they shall be given you to be consumed.
Yeah, and you know, men to believe anything a pretty woman telling them.
Yeah, that's why she did what she did.
Yeah,
she already know the week.
And look, script already said she was a good countenance and very beautiful.
And she done braided her hair, smelling good,
got braces, necklace on,
you know
got the dress hidden right.
Yeah.
Man, look. Y'all would have folded too if y'all was the Assyrians that met her. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
And I am coming before Holofernes, the chief captain of your army, to declare words of truth. And I will go show him, and I will show him a way whereby he shall go and win all the hill country, without losing the body or life of anyone, losing the body or life of any one of his men. Now when the men heard her words and beheld her countenance, they wondered greatly at her beauty, and said unto her, thou hast saved thy life.
Look. Now before she came down there, they scowling.
Yeah.
You can't come through her unless you come through us. She walk up to the gate. They take the hat off.
Halakha is round.
Can I have you with anything? Go ahead.
Thou hast saved thy life, in that thou hast hasted to come down into the presence of our master. Now therefore come to his tent, and some of us shall conduct thee until they have delivered thee to his hand. We're gonna chill with you till you get here.
Right. Yeah.
Make sure you get there all right.
No, you go before us. You go before us.
We'll take you on down and make sure your voice.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And when thou standest before him, be not afraid in thine heart, but show unto him according to thy word, and he will entreat thee well. Very good. Then they chose out of them 100 men to accompany her and her maid, and they brought her to the tent of Halakha. Then was there a concourse throughout all the camp, for her coming was noised among the tents. And they came about her as she stood without the tent of Halakha till they told him of her.
Yeah,
Man,
everybody look.
They should have put a picture of this sister in this book. I need to see her.
Everybody come out and
Look. It probably was supposed to been about 3 men escorting all of a sudden it's 100. And she walking by, they just joining themselves to the escort.
With they outside the tent look.
Right.
Put it in memory term. Y'all seen it?
Yeah. She got all these Negroes mouth on the ground right now.
Mm-hmm.
They not even aware of what's gonna happen to them or they leader. Cause you too focused on the booty. Go ahead.
But check this out though. She's adorned and modest of her.
Facts.
Well.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing.
I'm
glad you said that. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because in the Babylonian society in the day and age where you ain't quote unquote sexy unless you showing skin.
Right.
Well, all these brothers thought she was quote unquote sexy. Ain't nothing showing.
Right.
She covered up.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. You got that type of range as a woman, or are you shallow? You ain't got that much substance to you to where you think you gotta be half naked to be sexy. Well, you ain't got that much range.
Yeah.
You ain't got no range.
Like one brother said on one song, he said, "No, I don't want to take you home. You got it all on show."
That's it,
right? Why would I pay for the movie? You showing the trailer, right? You showing all the good parts in the trailer.
Come on, man.
Of course, I don't want to pay to see the movie. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Mm-hmm. And they wondered at her beauty and admired the children of Israel because of her. And everyone said to his neighbor, who should despise this people that have among them such women?
Boy.
Surely it is not good that one man of them be left.
Good, man. Boy, they just didn't look. They didn't forget everything.
Is she look like that?
All the women look like that.
Don't kill them all. You gonna take all they women.
Look, so
you
now
get one, I get one.
They done had it change the heart. Like her beauty is throwing them for a whole loop right now.
Oh, that's probably why I'm gonna leave that alone.
Her beauty throwing them for a whole loop right now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Like this a game. She got game changing beauty.
Facts. Who would despise this people that among them that have among them such women? Surely it is not good that one man of them be left, who being let go might deceive the whole earth. And they that lay near Halakha went out, and all his servants, and they brought her into the tent. Now Halakha rested upon his bed under the canopy, which was woven with purple and gold, emeralds, and precious stones. So they showed him of her, and he came out before his tent with silver lamps before him. And when Judith was come before him and his servant, they all marveled at the beauty of her countenance. And she fell down upon her face and did reverence unto him, and his servants took her up.
All right, let's go to the next chapter.
Then said Halakha unto her, Woman, be of good comfort. Fear not in thine heart. For I never heard any lie. For I never heard any that was willing to serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of all the earth. Now therefore, if thy people that dwelleth in the mountains had not set light by me, I would not have lifted up my spear against them. But they have done these things to themselves. But now tell me wherefore thou art fled from them, and art come unto us. For thou art come for safeguard, be of good comfort. Thou shalt live this night and hereafter. For none shall hurt thee, but entreat thee well, as they do the servants of King Nebuchadnezzar, my master. Then Judith said unto him, receive the words of thy servant, and suffer thine handmaid to speak in thy presence, and I will declare no lie to my master this night. And if thou wilt follow the words of thine handmaid, Elohim will bring the thing perfectly to pass by thee, and my master shall not fail of his purposes. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, liveth, and as his power liveth, who have sent thee for the upholding of every living thing. For not only men shall serve him by thee, but also the beasts of the field, and the cattle, and the fowls of the air shall live by thy power under Nebuchadnezzar and all his house. For we have heard of thy wisdom and thy policies, and it is reported in all the earth that thou only art excellent in all the kingdom, and mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. Now as concerning the matter which Achior did speak in thy council, we have heard had spoken unto thee. Therefore, thine heart, for it is true, for our nation shall not be punished, neither can the sword prevail against them, except they sin against their Elohim. And now that my master be not defeated and frustrate of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them, and their sin is overtaking them, wherewith they will provoke their Elohim to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done. She ain't lying.
Yeah.
For their victuals failed them, and all their water is scant. And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle in purpose to consume all those things that Elohim hath forbidden them to eat by his laws. What things are those?
I was just about to say, I wasn't even gonna get into say nothing, but hey, go ahead. You already know.
Yeah. And are resolved to spend the first fruits of the corn and the tenths of wine and oil, which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests that served in Jerusalem. Before the face of our Elohim, the which things it is not lawful for any of the people so much as to touch with their hands.
You see that? So that's the heathens, them oppressing us causes us in some instances to break the law of the Most High. You think y'all ain't got to pay for that? Right? Putting his people in a position to where they have no choice but to break the law of the Most High.
But the Most High got even provision for that. He said even in the book of Sirach Neander, if you do things, somebody makes you do things under pressure, he said he don't even hold it against you. If you done it by constraint, somebody make you do something by constraint, like all the unclean foods and stuff that we eat, we know we eat,
right?
And then they purposely doing all this stuff and all the stuff that they put in the air and all the drugs they flooding my neighborhood with by constraint. They crushing you in there, making you break the law, sell drugs to your own people by constraint. He said, "Hey, if it's under constraint, then hey, it's null and void to him."
It's just like with certain crimes. If I do a crime and I go do the time, right? I can't come out here and live a normal life because I got a felony on my record, but I served my time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, man.
You push me back to the same environment.
Right. You push me back out there.
Yeah.
By constraint, you push me back out
there. As a what environment I come from before I came to prison. Now I come out of prison and I can't legally own a gun. You know where I live at. You know what I'm saying, where I come from. You know I need a gun.
And you gonna be on parole or probation for however many years.
That's a trap.
Once you get out.
Yeah.
So you already.
And it's set up for you to break it.
Yeah, it's
to violate it.
Right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's right.
Yes, it is. Well, I don't even want to go down that road.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to never get out of probation.
Go ahead, bro.
14.
Yeah. Yep. 14.
For they have sent some to Jerusalem because they also that dwell there have done the like to bring them a license from the Senate. Now, when they shall bring them word, they will forthwith do it, and they shall be given thee to be destroyed the same day. Wherefore I, thine handmaid, knowing all this, am fled from their presence. And Elohim hath sent me to work things with thee, whereat all the earth shall be astonished, and whosoever shall hear it. Boy. And he don't even understand what she's saying.
Man, no, he's just looking at her face. He's just looking at her body.
Yeah. Man, she's so fine.
Man.
I
hear you. I hear you, but when you get through talking, you know, meet me at my other tent over here. Yeah.
How you want to get crack?
17.
You really want to save your nation? Yeah. Go ahead.
For thy servant is religious and serveth the Elohim of heaven day and night. Now therefore, my master, I will remain with thee, and thy servant will go out by night into the valley, and I will pray unto Elohim, and he will tell me when they have committed their sins. And I will come and show it unto thee. Then thou shalt go forth with all thine army, and there shall be none of them that shall resist thee. And I will lead thee through the midst of Judea until thou come before Jerusalem. And I will set thy throne in the midst thereof, and thou shalt drive them as sheep that have no shepherd. And a dog shall not so much as open his mouth at thee. For these things were told me according to my foreknowledge, as they were declared unto me, and I am sent to tell thee. Then her words pleased Holofernes and all his servants, and they marveled at her wisdom and said, there is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other, both for beauty of face and wisdom of words. Likewise, Holofernes said unto her, God hath done well to send thee before the people, that strength might be in our hands and destruction upon them that lightly regard my master. And now thou art both beautiful in thy countenance and witty in thy words. Surely if thou do as thou hast spoken, thy power shall be my power, and thou shalt dwell in the house of King Nebuchadnezzar, and shall be renowned through the whole earth.
That was it on chapter 11. Let's go to chapter 12. I bet Judith sitting there looking at him like, this sucker.
Yeah.
I got him in a bag. Go ahead, chapter 12.
Then he commanded to bring her in where his plate was set. And is that had?
Bade.
And bade that they should prepare for her of his own meats, and that she should drink of his own wine. And Judith said, I will not eat thereof, lest there be an offense, because she fasted. But provision shall be made for me of the things that I have brought. Then Holofernes said unto her, if thy provision should fail, how should we give thee the like? For there be none with us of thy nation. Then Judith said unto him, as thy soul liveth, my master, thy handmaid shall not spend those things that I have. Before the Most High work by mine hand the things that he hath determined.
Yeah, he done trying to offer her all type of meat and all that, and she fasts 6 days. You know what I'm saying, a week. What's she looking like? Eating steaks and all that. She like, nah, I don't need none of that. I got my figs and the stuff that I bought. I'm straight. Go ahead.
Then the servants of Holofernes brought her into the tent, and she slept till midnight. And she arose when it was toward the morning watch, and sent to Holofernes, saying, let my master now command that thine handmaid go forth unto prayer. Then Holofernes commanded his guard that they should not stay her. Thus she abode in the camp 3 days, and went out in the night into the valley of Bethulia, and washed herself in a fountain of water by the camp. And when she came out, she besought the Most High Power of Israel to direct her way to the raising up of the children of her people.
Man, look, if you got a man thinking with his other head, you can get him to do whatever you want him to do.
Yep.
You can get him to do whatever. Now here they are. You were just fat mouthing about these people you gonna kill, and you letting one of them come right behind enemy lines scot free, doing whatever they want to do.
Camp.
Yeah. She didn't seen all your generals. Done seen where all the weapons at.
Come on, man.
She know where all the bones hid.
Whole setup.
Go ahead.
So she came in clean and remained in the tent.
This was cold strategy right here.
Until she did eat her meat at evening. And in the 4th day, Holofernes made a feast to his own servants only, and called none of the officers to the banquet. Then said he to Bagoas, the eunuch, who had charge over all that he had, go now and persuade this Hebrew woman, which is with thee, that she come unto us and eat and drink with us. For lo, it will be a shame for our person if we shall let such a woman go, not having had her company. For if we draw her not unto us, she will laugh us to scorn. Then went Bagoas from the presence of Holofernes and came to her, and he said, let not this fair damsel fear to come to my master, and to be honored in his presence, and drink wine and be merry with us. And he made this, and be made this day as one of the daughters of the Assyrians, which served in the house of Nebuchadnezzar. Then said Judith unto him, who am I now, that I should gainsay my master? Surely whatsoever pleaseth him, I will do speedily, and it shall be my joy unto the day of my death. So she arose and decked herself with her apparel and all her women.
She like, I'm finna dress up. I'm really finna get them now.
Yeah.
They want me to come to drink?
He said, yeah, I got him now.
Go ahead.
So she arose and decked herself with all her apparel, and all her woman's attire, and her maid went and laid soft skins on the ground for her over against Holofernes, which she had received of Bagoas for her daily use, that she might sit and eat upon them. Now when Judith came in and sat down, Holofernes, his heart was ravished with her, and his mind was moved, and he desired greatly her company, for he waited a time to deceive her from the day that he had seen her. Then said Holofernes unto her, drink now and be merry with us. He tried to get her drunk. So Judith said, I will drink now, my master, because my life is magnified in me this day, more than all the days since I was born. Then she took and ate and drank before him what her maid had prepared. And Holofernes took great delight in her and drank much more wine than he had drunk at any time in one day.
He thinks something gonna go down. Look,
yeah. Gonna get going on this hit. Yeah. Gonna get going on this hit, man.
he thinking something gonna go down. He get full of. He thought something was finna go down. He get full of it. Go ahead, bro. Chapter 13, verse 1.
Now when the evening was
John Boy, Shabbat Shalom, my key.
Shabbat Shalom, Hebrew. Now when the evening was come, his servants made haste to depart, and Bagoas shut his tent without and dismissed the waiters from the presence of his master, and they went to their beds, for they were all weary, because the feast had been long. And Judith was left alone in the tent, and Holofernes lying alone upon his bed, for he was filled with wine, full of the liquor.
Boy, he's sitting up on that bed full of that liquor.
Full full of that oil.
Yeah.
Ready for something that ain't finna happen.
Yeah. Be ready for it. He don't know what's about it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
So all went forth, and none was left in the bedchamber, neither little nor great.
Mm-hmm.
Then Judith, standing by his bed, said in her heart, O Most High Yah, power of all power, look at this present upon the works of mine hands.
Ooh.
For the exaltation of Jerusalem. For now is the time to help thine inheritance and to execute mine enterprises to the destruction of the enemies which are risen against us. Then she came to the pillar of the bed, which was at Holofernes' head, and took down his, what's that, falchion?
Yeah.
From thence, and approached to his bed and took hold of the hair of his head and said, strengthen me, O Yah, Elohim of Israel, this day. And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might, and she took away his head from him.
Goodness, boy.
So,
This wasn't no soft shoe way of doing this.
no.
Now she had
She
to have
grabbed that joke about her hair.
Come on, man.
Grabbed that joke about her hair. Whop, whop. The second whop, that head was off. Boy, man, look, this
And
sister.
look, she had to have a manly stomach too,
Yeah.
because a woman would see something like that and probably throw up.
And freak out.
Yeah.
Man, she grabbed that joker by his head.
Mm.
Had him by the.
Had him twice.
Yeah.
Man, that was straight G. How she handled that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that falchion is a slightly curved medieval sword.
Mm. Oh, so
She had one of them hook swords.
yeah.
Ooh.
One of the bills that go
Ooh.
like
Yeah. It gets broader towards the point.
Ooh, wait. One like the Moravians be having.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, that sister that come through there, man. She was
Man,
straight
look.
business.
Yes, sir.
She was straight business.
Man, look.
What'd you say, Bruce?
You,
Straight
you,
G.
you know she couldn't have been nothing as far as size as much as she fast.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Man, that's that ruach.
That's the ruach.
Mm.
That's that ruach.
He gave her that strength
Mm.
and chopped that young head off with 2 whacks all the way through the bone.
Man, muscle. I'm talking about tissue
Yeah,
and everything. In 2
And
whacks.
2 chops.
All the way to his head.
Man, look.
All the way to his head.
Yes, sir. And tumbled his body down from the bed and pulled down the canopy from the pillars. And anon after she went forth and gave Holofernes
Hold on.
head to her maid.
Not only. She grabbed the man by the hair, chopped his neck off, threw his body down from the bed.
Pulled his body down.
Kicked it off the bed.
Pulled down the canopy.
Kicked that joke off the bed.
Tore the bed up.
Throw the bed up. Look, take it.
Man,
She cold. Bro.
She cold, bro.
And walk clean back out the camp.
She cold. Bro.
Look, in her dress clothes.
And come on, man.
In her Shabbat day dress.
And probably,
Lovely, man. You can tell it.
and look, probably ain't got no blood on.
No, not with no 2 whacks.
Man, that's cold, bro. That's cold. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And she put it in her bag of meat. So they twain went together according to their custom unto prayer. And when they passed the camp, they compassed the valley and went up to the mountain of Bethulia and came to the gates thereof. Then said Judith afar off to the watchman at the gate, open now the gate. Elohim, even our Elohim, is with us to show his power yet in Jerusalem and his forces against the enemy, as he hath even done this day. Now, when the men of her city heard her voice, they made haste to go down to the gate of their city, and they called the elders of the city. And then they ran all together, both small and great, for it was strange unto them that she was come. So they thought she was done.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't coming back. So they opened the gate and received them and made a fire for a light and stood round about them. Then she said to them with a loud voice, praise, praise Elohim. Praise Elohim, I say, for he hath not taken away his mercy from the house of Israel, but have destroyed our enemies by mine hand this night.
Man, read verse 15. This so G right here.
So she took the head out of the bag and showed it.
Boy, this lady is not, she real. This lady real, boy.
Yes, sir.
She ain't squirming, her flesh ain't crawling, she ain't looking at it sideways. She look what I did, y'all.
That bag right
there. Yeah, look what I did.
Yeah, all y'all cowards.
Go ahead.
So she took the head out of the bag and showed it, and said unto them, behold, the head of Herlophanes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, and behold, the canopy wherein he did lie in his drunkenness, and the master have smitten him by the hand of a woman. Yeah. As the Most High liveth, who hath kept me in my way that I went, my countenance have deceived him to his destruction, and yet hath he not committed sin with me to defile and shame.
You see that? She basically saying, look, I did all this without having to give up my body to do it.
Right. Man.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't even had to give up my body as a compromise to get us out this mess. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Then all the people were wonderfully astonished and bowed themselves and worshipped Elohim and said with one accord, blessed be thou, O our power, which has this day brought to naught the enemies of thy people. Then said Osiris unto her, O daughter, blessed art thou of the Most High Yah, above all.
Please do that for me.
Y'all boy make a cartoon of that.
We back on. All right, we back on. We back on, y'all. I knocked us off for a little second. Let's get back to it. I can't even remember what we was just talking about. We just there.
The making of movies.
Okay, yeah. The make if anybody want to make this a movie, or the Maccabees, or Gideon in 300, or David and Goliath, any type of war scene from the Bible, man, I would pay money to see it. Yeah, I would pay money to see it. All right, go ahead.
All right, verse 19.
Yeah.
For this thy confidence shall not depart from the heart of men, which remembrance the power of Elohim forever. And Elohim turned these things to thee for a perpetual praise, to visit thee in good things, because thou hast not spared thy life for the affliction of our nation, but hast revenged our ruin, walking a straight way before our power. And all the people said, so be it, so be it.
Hallelujah. Chapter 14. We got what? 14, 15, and 16. That's it? All right, bet. We almost through.
Then says Judith unto them, hear me now, my brethren, and take his head and hang it upon the highest place of your wall.
Man, these folks just passing around a human head like it's just.
Let me look at it. Let me see, man. She showed me. That sure will.
Hey, what's that drop down right there?
Yeah. All these vertebrae.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Verse 2. And as soon as the morning shall appear and the sun shall come forth upon the earth, take you everyone his weapons and go forth, every valiant man out of the city. Every valiant man.
Yeah.
Everybody valiant. Now that
She can do it.
Now that the man, I'm gone. Now that the man, I'm gone.
She can do it. I can do it.
Everybody ready to fight that. Go ahead.
And go forth every valiant man out of the city, and set you a captain over them, as though you would go down into the field toward the watch of the Assyrians, but go not down. Then they shall take their armor and shall go into their camp and raise up the captains of the army of Assur. And they shall run to the tent of Holofernes, but shall not find him. Then fear shall fall upon them, and they shall flee before your face. So you and all that inhabit the coast of Israel shall pursue them and overthrow them as they go. But before you do these things, call me Achior the Ammonite, that he may see and know him that despised the house of Israel, and that sent him to us as it were to his death.
Man, imagine if you was one of Holofernes' boys and you walk into a headless body on the floor.
Bruh. Heart drop.
All of them, when you see situation like that, all of them know they've been fooled, and all of them know they've been played.
Wow, woman.
Only way somebody get there, y'all let them willingly walk through the whole camp back to his tent.
Yeah.
And let that person walk right back out of their tent.
Yeah.
Same way they came.
It ain't supposed to be that easy to get to a general like that.
No. That's what I'm saying. So they know they all been duped. There's gonna be repercussions behind it when they get back to the king.
Yeah, if they don't die by the hands of the Israelites, the king.
Yeah.
Man, especially when he found out how they let her in there.
But you didn't see him, man.
Everybody ain't trying to hear none of that.
Nah, he might.
Yeah, he lied, boy.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all that fat mess they were talking in chapter 2 and 3 about they finna kill this, kill that. We ain't taking no prisoners. That changed quick when they saw a pretty face.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's crazy. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Then
they called Achior out of the house of Osiris, and when he was come and saw the head of Holofernes in a man's hand, in the assembly of the people, he fell down on his face, and his spirit fell. He fainted. But when they had recovered him, he fell at Judith's feet and reverenced her and said, Blessed art thou in all the tabernacle of Judah, and in all nations, which hearing thy name shall be astonished. Now therefore tell me all the things that thou hast done in these days. Then Judith declared unto him in the midst of the people all that she had done from the day that she went forth until that hour she spake unto them. And when she had left off speaking, the people shouted with a loud voice and made a joyful noise in their city. And when Achior had seen all that the most high power of Israel had done, he believed in Yah greatly and circumcised the foreskin of his flesh, and was joined unto the house of Israel unto this day.
I know he wasn't rejoicing the same day he got circumcised. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
That boy was laid up a few days.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Hebrew. For real.
And as soon as the morning arose, they hanged the head of Holofernes upon the wall, and every man took his weapons, and they went forth by bands unto the straits of the mountain. And when the Assyrians saw them, they sent to their leaders, which came to their captains and tribunes, and to every one of their rulers. So they came to Holofernes' tent and said to him, they had the charge of all his things. Waken now our master, for the slaves have been bold to come down against us to battle, that they may be utterly destroyed.
Calling us slaves. Yeah.
Then went in Bagoas and knocked at the door of the tent. knocked at the door of the tent.
You knocking on cloth, ain't it?
Knocked at the door of the tent, for he thought that he had slept with Judith. But because
Look, they thought all that bumping that they heard up in their room was something else.
Yeah.
Nah. What they in there doing? What they in there doing?
Well, what I would give to be alive.
Yeah. No, you won't.
I bet they on the other side of the door like, oh man, they in there getting it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. They getting it on, all right. You got to find your partner. Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
But because none answered, he opened it and went into the bedchamber and found him cast upon the floor, and his head was taken from him. Therefore he cried with a loud voice, with weeping and sighing, and a mighty cry, and rent his garment. After he went into the tent where Judith lodged, and when he found her not, he leaped out to the people and cried.
Like you said, they know they had been played.
Yeah.
At that point.
These slaves have dealt treacherously. One woman of the Hebrews have brought shame upon the house of King Nebuchadnezzar. For behold, her lawfulness lieth upon the ground without a head. When the captains of the Assyrians' army heard these words, they rent their coats, and their minds were wonderfully troubled. And there was a cry and a very great noise throughout the camp.
Man, not a woman making all these grown men cry. Not a woman got all these grown men weeping like this.
One woman.
One, bro.
One.
Go ahead.
Took down a leader of a very great multitude.
Yes, sir.
You say one gonna say what? 1,000.
So
He say the one man. He said one.
Yeah. Man, the spirit come up on them. Hey, who knows? Go ahead, bro.
Use who he choose.
That's a fact.
Chapter 15. And when they
up again, T-Man.
Will.
Are you back?
All right.
Sorry about that.
No, you good.
And when they that were in the tents heard, they were astonished at the thing that was done, and fear and trembling fell upon them, so that there was no man that durst abide in the sight of his neighbor. But rushing out all together, they fled into every way of the plain and of the hill country. They also that had camped in the mountains round about Bethulia fled away. Then the children of Israel, every one that was a warrior among them, rushed out upon them. Then sent Osiris to, but those my thing, and to Bebai, and to Kobai, and to Kola. That's the plainest word right there.
The facts.
And Kola, and to all the coasts of Israel, such as should tell the things that were done, and that all should rush forth upon their enemies to destroy them. Now when the children of Israel heard it, they all fell upon them with one consent and slew them unto Kobo. Likewise also they that came from Jerusalem and from all the hill country, for men had told them what things were done in the camp of their enemies, and they that were in Galilee and in Galilee chased them with a great slaughter until they were past Damascus and the borders thereof. And the residue that dwelt in Bethulia fell upon the camp of Assur and spoiled them, and were greatly enriched. And the children of Israel that returned from the slaughter had that which remained in the villages and the cities that were in the mountains and in the plain, get many spoils, for the multitude was very great. Then Joachim the high priest and the ancients of the children of Israel that dwelt in Jerusalem came to behold the good things that Elohim had showed to Israel, and to see Judith and to salute her. And when they came unto her, they blessed her with one accord, and said unto her, Thou art the exaltation of Jerusalem.
Thou art the great glory of Israel. Thou art the great rejoicing of our nation. Thou hast done all these things by thine hand. Thou hast done much good to Israel, and Elohim is pleased therewith. Blessed be thou of the Almighty Yah forevermore. And all the people said, so be it. And the people spoiled the count the space of 30 days, and they gave unto Judith her lawfulnesses, his tent, and all his plate, and beds, and vessels, and all his stuff. And she took it and laid it upon her mule, and made ready her carts, and laid them thereon. Then all the women of Israel ran together to see her, and blessed her, and made a dance among them for her.
That's right.
And she took branches in her hand, and gave also to the women that were with her. And they put a garland of olive upon her, and her maid that was with her, and she went before the people in the dance, leading all the women. And all the men of Israel followed in their armor with garlands and with songs in their mouths.
Hallelujah. Last chapter, y'all. Let's get through it.
Yes, sir. Then Judith began to sing this thanksgiving in all Israel, and all the people sang after her this song of praise. And Judith said, begin unto my Elohim with timbrels, sing unto my master with cymbals, tune unto him a new song, exalt him and call upon his name. For Elohim breaketh the battles, for amongst the camp in the midst of the people he hath delivered me out of the hands of them that persecuted me. A sword came out of the mountains from the north. He came with 10,000s of his army. The multitude whereof stopped the torrents, and their horsemen have covered the hills. He bragged that he would burn up my boys, and kill my young men with the sword, and dash the sucking children against the ground, and make mine infants as a prey, and my virgins as a spoil. But the Almighty Yah have disappointed them by the hand of a woman. For the mighty one did not fall by the young men, neither did the sons of the Titans smite him, nor high giants set upon him. But Judith, the daughter of Merari, weakened him with the beauty of her countenance. For she put off the garment of her widowhood for the exaltation of those that were oppressed in Israel, and anointed her face with ointment, and bound her hair in a tire, and took a linen garment to deceive him. Her sandals ravished his eyes. Her beauty took his mind prisoner, and the falchion passed through his neck.
Right. So that boy was too focused on the feet. He had a foot fetish.
Yeah.
A foot fetish got that boy killed.
That boy had a lust for toes.
That boy would have paid top dollar to see her feet. Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
The Persians quaked at her boldness, and the Medes were daunted at her hardiness. Then my afflicted shouted for joy, and my weak ones cried aloud, but they were astonished. These lifted up their voices, but they were overthrown. The sons of the damsels have pierced them through, and wounded them as fugitives' children. They perished by the battle of the Most High. I will sing unto the Most High a new song. O Yah, thou art great and glorious, wonderful in strength and invincible. Let all creatures serve thee, for thou spakest, and they were made. Thou didst send forth thy spirit, and he created them, and there is none that can resist thy voice. For the mountains shall be moved from their foundations with the waters. The rocks shall melt as wax at thy presence. Yet art thou merciful to them that fear thee. For all sacrifice is too little for a sweet savor unto thee, and all the fat is not sufficient for thy burnt offering. But he that feareth the Most High is great at all times.
but he that feareth the Most High is great at all times. Woe to the nations that rise up against my kindred. The Most High Almighty will take vengeance of them in the day of judgment, in putting fire and worms in their flesh, and they shall feel them and weep forever.
In their flesh.
In their flesh. Where the worm dieth not.
Bro, that's insane to think about.
Worms in your flesh.
Man.
You know, that brings a new feeling to flesh crawl.
Yeah. Fire and worms, dog. And hideous demons. And you can't get up. You can't just get up and go turn the air on.
Nah.
You can't get up and go plug a fan up and just put it on you in the lake of fire so you can stay cool. None of that.
Yeah, ain't like you can you know what I mean, there's a bathroom around.
Right.
You swimming in feces.
And then, boy, certain places say you if you in the lake of fire, you resurrected with the same body you left.
Same body. So if you died with a broke hip,
man, that's what you're gonna be feeling for the rest of your life. You die with a broke back or whatever, HIV. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, best to repent.
Man, look here. For real. That's all we can say at this point. I mean, what other lesson can we come up with? Unless y'all want us to do it in Dutch or German for a little razzle dazzle. It ain't no other way we can put it. Yeah. It ain't nothing else you can say, really, bro, but repent. Repent or die. It's simple. Yeah. Simple. Go ahead.
Verse 18. Now, as soon as they entered into Jerusalem, they worshiped the Most High. And as soon as the people were purified, they offered their burnt offerings.
There you go. There you go.
Their
I like that
offerings
verse.
And their gifts, right? Purify yourself before you offer anything up to the Most High.
Thanks.
Judith also dedicated all the stuff of her lawfulness, which the people had given her, and gave the canopy which she had taken out of his bedchamber for a gift unto the Most High. So the people continued feasting in Jerusalem before the sanctuary for the space of 3 months, and Judith remained with them. After this time, everyone returned to his own inheritance, and Judith went to Bethulia and remained in her own possession, and was in her time honorable in all the country. And many desired her, but none knew her all the days of her life. After that, Manasseh, her husband, was dead, and
go ahead.
But she increased more and more in honor, and waxed old in her husband's house, being 105 years old, and made her maid free. So she died in Bethulia, and they buried her in the cave of her husband Manasseh. And the house of Israel lamented her 7 days. And before she died, she did distribute her goods to all them that are nearest of kindred to Manasseh her husband, and to them that were the nearest of her kindred, according to the law. And there was none that made the children of Israel any more afraid in the days of Judith, nor a long time after her death.
Hallelujah. That was our email, Judith. Shining example of Judith. That was the lesson. That was the lesson. Hey, man, you never know who the Most High gonna use.
You don't.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't.
He used a woman to deliver Israel a lot of times.
Wow.
You know, going back to Yael and Judges, she drove a tent dagger in the temple of
Yes, hey, same Moses getting his head hit
for real. And then look in the book of Jasher, it say that she was just as the women of Israel, the daughters of Israel.
Yeah.
The daughters of Sarah, yeah.
So she gonna be in the first resurrection.
Facts.
Facts. They say the same thing about a scene.
Yep. Joseph's wife. Yep. Yep. She was hard at first though.
Yeah, man.
She was stuck on that on her culture at first. But man, it was good bringing y'all this class. Like I said, don't let that pot roast go without that onion. If you know you need that extra onion, go get that onion. If you know that mac and cheese need a little bit more cheese and you ain't got no more, go get that cheese, please.
Yes, sir.
We don't want no half-cooked, under-seasoned food.
That's right. You want to throw it up, don't throw anything up to the Most High.
Right.
I'll get spewed.
Yeah.
Facts.
Hey, you know
look,
what you
did. If we start eating at 1 and it's 4 and your pan's still full,
yeah, you know something wrong.
You ain't gotta ask if we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Before you prepare it, before you bring it, ask what the Most High accepts.
Right.
Go ahead, prepare that for the trip.
Right. And you know, if y'all need some taste testers, you know what I'm saying, I am available. You know. So just let me know. Email.
Yeah.
Carrier pigeon.
Share
okay, yeah.
Location.
I'm finna share the location real quick. Let me present the screen. All right, boom. It's right here. Luxury Affairs.
Yes, sir.
Here go the I'm highlighting the address right here, y'all. It's right across. Well, never mind. Y'all don't know where it is, so don't worry. Y'all don't know where we at. Make
starting at 12 noon sharp. The brother's gonna be 2 by y'all. Who reading for you tomorrow?
Brother Noah.
Okay, 2 by y'all brothers. Zai, they're gonna be bringing word 2. He's teaching. Brother Noah's gonna be doing the read. And soon after the lesson, we're gonna get together. We're gonna feast before our Most High power, enjoy one another in fellowship and in love. Come to the feast tomorrow with your minds right.
Right. Don't just come ready to eat.
Right. With your heart right, with your mind right. We're gonna partake of that spiritual food first, then we're gonna feast before the Most High.
Right.
Don't come there empty.
Right.
Facts.
Y'all brothers know y'all been up. If you ain't kicked in, hey, read that Deuteronomy, brother.
It's in the lesson.
Oh, okay. Well, then you gotta read
the lesson.
Okay. Well, brothers, don't y'all show up tomorrow empty now. You know, that's a commandment.
So
that's a commandment. There ain't none of us that's talking. That's a commandment.
That's right. Imar said, "Come in shalom or stay home."
That's right. That's right.
That's
so
right.
Looking forward to seeing our brothers and sisters. I know we got a few people from out of town here.
Let that food be seized, though. You're gonna be leaving. You hear me?
Yeah.
Ball.
No, I was just playing.
We got a few of our brothers and sisters in from out of town. I want to thank y'all for that. Coming in and fellowship with us, playing the fellowship and being shalom with our brothers and sisters and partake of the Most High feast days.
Facts.
With that, the brother just posted the address in the chat, so anybody who does not have it, you should have it now. We just shared it, and he also posted it in the chat. So all praise to the Most High. And I turn it back over to the young brother.
That's all I got, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Shabbat. I hope y'all get everything y'all need, for the feast tomorrow. And hey, just man, take a few minutes, as the clock strikes midnight. You know how they time. We know it's our day and already started, but hey, man, just reflect and reflect on your atonement. Reflect on what you need to do different as this year ends, and you know what I'm saying, and just get on track and stay on track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man. It's literally, we read all you have to do to be prosperous is obey. Just be obedient. It's simple. Simple.
Hallelujah.
All right, family. That's it. We gone.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.